From the ancient world to Byzantium. The transition from the ancient world to the Byzantine was gradual. The political, economic and religious structures of the ancient world began to break down from the end of the 2nd century, a time when Christianity was starting to gain ground and the first examples of Christian art appeared. A milestone in this transition was the legalization of the Christian religion in 313 by the Emperor Constantine the Great. Christian art now acquired a public character and was put to work in the further propagation of the new faith. In parallel, the transfer of the capital of the Roman Empire from Rome to Constantinople in 330 represented a decisive shift in the empire's center of gravity from the Latin West to the Hellenized East. The division into a Western and Eastern Empire in 395 and the dissolution of the Western half in 476 were significant stages along the way to the end of antiquity, which can be said to have breathed its last with the closure of the philosophical schools in 529, the onset of the barbarian invasions, and the decline of the great urban centers after the 6th century. From the ancient world to Byzantium. Old forms, new symbols. Christian art was born in the period of late antiquity, 2nd-4th centuries AD, in the bosom of the Roman Empire, and in order to express their belief, Christian artists and patrons chose to employ the figurative language of the age. Christians borrowed familiar forms from the Greco-Roman world and imbued them with new content. The figure of the shepherd carrying a lamb on his shoulders, ultimately derived from the Greek statues of the calf-bearer, Moschophoros, or kid-bearer, Crophoros, was used to portray the idea of Christ as a good shepherd who, in accordance with Scripture, giveth his life for the sheep. Another suitable figure was Orpheus, the mythical lyre player from Thrace who worked his musical spell over wild animals that were shown gathered round him in late antique art. Christians considered that Orpheus could be understood allegorically as Christ, who with his words tames the hearts of even the fiercest of men. Likewise, the philosopher, among the most popular figures in art of the late antique period, also became one of the prototypes for the representation of Christ as a young man.